All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Real Talk video. I pray you're all doing well as we thank the Most High for so much. This video is for the musicians out here. Actually, I'm responding back to an email from Brother Bobby. Jay, you know who you are, and I believe the guy name is Terrence Fisher. The video you sent me about musicians need to stop gigging for $100. Very powerful video, and I give you my little input on that. First of all, I'm gonna say this off top. Most musicians need to learn the difference between practicing and rehearsing. I want to say that first because that's a big difference. Practice is always on your own time. Just catch that. Rehearsing is when you put something together. You know, you work on your intros, outros, breaks, or whatever. But so many musicians get rehearsing and practicing mixed up. Same thing go vice versa if you're at a church, playing at a church. Everybody needs to learn their music on their own time off top. But all musicians are not the same. Now, I'm going to tell you why that video is so great to me, because he's hitting on so many good points on all levels. First of all, some musicians, when they start out, they just be happy to even be gigging somewhere. So a lot of times, hey man, I do it for free just because you happy, you know. But the value that you place on yourself says a lot about yourself. Now, I am very familiar with this because I done went through it so much in life, and that's why I understand the video very well. Because after a while, when you start getting on different levels, especially, the $100 really ain't nothing if you just think about it. It's really not nothing, like he was explaining in the video. But you got bands that's out here that's, let's just say, a 5-piece band, okay? And let's just say a 5-piece that's gonna add in a singer. But somebody call you with a gig saying, you know what, Brother Bobby, I want you to do 3 sets. Now just listen to what I'm saying. I want you to do 3 sets. 3 sets now. We talking about maybe 6 to 7 songs per set. But that gig is only paying $400. But you got a 5-piece band and a singer that's singing with you. Let's just say 6-piece. Let me say it like that. Somebody is not gonna get paid like they want. Now, we know you can throw tip jars out here, but a lot of times in these lower paying gigs, you don't see a lot of people that's just gonna really tip. So as the old boy said in the video, a lot of times you are shortening yourself. And I agree with that cold-heartedly. If you just paying $100, why do you need 1 or 2 rehearsals to put a rehearsal together when everybody can learn the music at their house? And it's just $100. Then, like you say, then you got to drive. Just say the gig is 30 minutes away, you know. But I want to say this on the flip side. It also depends on you as a musician. Now, there are a lot of musicians that got more than one thing going on, you know. I'm not going to tell somebody to stop doing a $100 gig if that person got 6 or 7 different incomes coming in, because that 100 is still better than the bank. See, a lot of people come off real good doing $100 because they just buy themselves. They don't have to worry about paying nobody else. They get in and get out. You know, I'm gonna use my horn player for an example. A lot of times, Marvell James, he'll do the gigs by himself without a band, you know, but he gonna come out on top. And most of the time, when he's doing it, he's not gonna charge no $100. But my point is, when you got a lot of different things going on as a musician, that $100 that you're gonna make, it's just gonna add on to what you already have going on. Just say you done already made $600 or $700 out the week, and then somebody call you to do 2 songs. Or I'm gonna use myself for an example, playing at a wedding. You ain't gotta do no rehearsal. They just want you to play Rivers in the Sky, or you know, the wedding song, or whatever the case may be. You don't have to practice, and they tip you. You can still. This is the thing about these $100 gigs when you soloing as an artist. You can still come out on top with the tip money also. I'm gonna tell you something. One of the highest gigs we ever got paid. Me, Marvell, my boy Dennis Ford, and my little brother Jeremy. We played at that hotel. I can't think of the name of the hotel, but one of the most popular hotels out there in Rowlett. And they wasn't paying nothing but $400. Now we had a 5-piece. And I told him, little bro, we said, hey, let's just go and do it, man, see what happened. And it was one of the most highest paid gigs that we ever done. Because the room got so crowded, we was in the middle of the hotel, and people just started throwing in $100 tips. So even though they didn't charge before $100 for a 5-piece, we all came out on top. I can't remember how many hundreds I counted when I came home that night. And we had fun. So my point is, you just use your discernment. And that's why I say I won't just tell somebody, I won't just tell everybody, say, man, stop doing $100 gigs, because it's according to who you are and what else you have going on. I mean, you just got to look at it like that too. And but I feel, like I said, I feel what my man is saying in that video too, because you really, when you're on a high level, you start shortchanging yourself. And then the problem with that is you already got many kinfolks say, man, look out for me, man, I'm kinfolk, give me a discount. And they want you to play all day and all night. Now, here's the other reason I want to hit with this video. Now, think about this. A lot of people want you to do their little gigs. Here's my number one question. Do they have sound? Do they have a sound system? This is another thing you got to look at. How big is the room? Do they have the microphones? Do they have the sound system? And if they do, that's cool. But if they don't, here you go again. Man, I gotta pack up my own PA system. I gotta bring the speakers. I gotta do the DJing. I gotta play the music. You got to charge more. You see what I'm saying? Like he was saying in the video, you're gonna shortchange yourself, because there are some people out here that just really, they will run over you, and they will continue to run over you as long as you keep saying stuff like, hey man, we cool. That's just, we cool with the $100. Let's just, you really are shortchanging yourself. And that's why I always tell people, how much do you value yourself? And I hate to say it like this, but it's the same thing in the church. It ain't no difference. You got some of these preachers out here, I said some of them, I ain't say all, they will shortchange you. They will tell you, brother, just keep doing it for God. God gonna bless you. And you never see those blessings the way they say it. You see what I'm saying? Because God also sending the blessings through people, through mankind. You know what I'm saying? They say that just like God just gonna drop some money from the sky. But that's a whole nother video. So when you keep doing it long enough, after a while, you will get tired of just that $100. But like I say, the question is, what do you have hidden with that $100? Because a lot of musicians still have their regular job. I got several partners, man. They don't work on no 9 to 5 no more. They left it alone, and all they do is music. But they not just making no $100. But then, like I say, you got the $100 musician that gig that know how to make that $100 work. And like I was reading some of Mr. Terrence's comments, all those comments are just awesome. And I like the different views on the comments, because it shows you, even in the comment section, there are different type of musicians. See, a lot of musicians, they don't have a problem with that $100. But like when you start going up with a 9-piece, 8-piece, I'm gonna put it to you like this: when you going with a 9-piece, a $500 gig ain't gonna cut it. A $600-700 gig, you got 9 people you trying to pay. So in order for everybody to get 100 apiece, you see what I'm saying? You see what you got to charge? And 9 times out of 10, especially in our race, I hate to say it like this, you're not gonna find too many people that's gonna say, hey man, we'll pay you $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. That's when you gotta start hitting those thousands and up. You can't settle for no $700 gig and you sitting here got a 9-piece. You see what I'm saying? Just for everybody to make $100. You see what I'm saying? You need $900 just for that. So a lot of people's budget is very, very thin. But then you got people out here that can just pay it, and they will tip you. But the way some of these, I'm gonna just be real with you, the way some of these restaurants and things operate, they need to be slapped. I mean this out of love, because they really are underchanging and shortchanging a lot of people when they play. But they try to make it a balance out. Well, I'm gonna give you these, when the band come, let them eat for free. Here go the tickets. They can eat for free. They can get what, a 5-drink minimum, if they play. But like I say, but then a lot of them want you to play all night. All night. You getting the crowd going, you having fun, but you really look at it, like he said in the video, you really just made minimum wage and barely made minimum wage when you add up everything, And then going out of town, that's something totally different. So it's really about just running into the right people. But like I say, I kind of wanted to rightly divide the video, because there are a lot of people that make that $100 as a musician, and they doing good with it because they adding it on with everything else, I say it just like hustling in the streets, and I'm going to use this term. You got people out here on the streets, been selling for a long time, but I call them nickel and dime hustlers, because all they do is nickel and dime. They sell the little 10 bags of weed, they nickel and dime and, sell this every now and again. But then you got people out here push weight. You see what I'm saying? Pushing bricks, pushing weight. There is a big difference between pushing weight than nickel and diming on the street chasing down dope fiends. Because when you moving weight, you're in a whole nother class, right? And that's how I look at it with musicians. Everybody is not on the same level. So like I was saying at the beginning of the video, a lot of musicians are just happy to play for somebody. Hey man, I got a gig, I done learned how to play. They happy, but after a while, you start looking at your bills, that gas in that car, the riding tire on that car, you're gonna start saying things like, I'm tired of doing these little gigs like this, man. And the hardest thing with a band is trying to keep a band together. So you got to look at all the headache they come with it. Like I say, church ain't no different. It's the same thing at church. You got musicians out here that don't never want to learn the music, but they want to make all the money. They want to do all the gigs. They want to be out front. They don't want to put in no time practicing. And see, I've been MDing for a long time, man, and I've been cussed out. I've done a lot of gigs, man, and I'm to the point now. That's why I don't play with everybody. Hey, I'm gonna be the one. If you want me to MD, then this is how I am. Anybody that don't play with me, they'll tell you, JT don't play like he don't play, man. Hey, if I send you the music, I expect you to know the music. I expect the drummer to know his part, the bass player to know their part, the lead guitar to know their part, the keys, and whatever else we're using. If it's the horn, if it's a singer, I don't expect to come in the room and rehearse and you don't know your part. And let me add this in there. That's another big mistake so many people make when they go to the studio. You don't go to the studio to rehearse. To practice. Let me say that right. You go to the studio to put it together. I've seen so many people get into it in the studio. The engineers and the artists is getting into it because you done went in there and wasted all that time because you didn't really know what you wanted to lay down when you went in the studio. And you know what that engineer doing? Looking at the clock. Say, man, you rented out, you gave me a 6-hour block, so you owe me such and such money. Just say he charged you $40 an hour, $35 an hour, $50 an hour. That engineer, when it's time to pay up, he gonna want his money because it's not the engineer's fault that you came in there and didn't know what you was doing. So if you get it together before you go in there, if you going in there to just lay down the hook, go lay down the hook. If you're going in there to do the verses, get in and get out. That's why people get into it so much in these studios. But nowadays, most people are doing everything at the house. So once again, it's advantages and disadvantages of taking those $100 gigs, See, like for me, I'll just use myself for an example. I generate income in many different ways. I do it from this job, from over here, from Google AdSense, the donations. So when I take $100 gig, it's going to benefit me because I'm already covered with everything else. Now, I don't even, some musicians get mad at me because I tell musicians I don't have to gig. And I really don't, because I have enough income generating where my gift really do make room for me. That's why I'm always on here. That's why I'm still teaching, but I don't have to gig. It's just, I love to play, but I don't have to do it like that. Because my days with $100 gigs really was over pretty much years ago. But I do it because it's fun. I'm not even really doing it for the money because I'm not worried about, see, if I had to depend on a gig for money, I'll be broke. And a lot of musicians that are playing for $100 are broke. Because like I say, the $100 is not going to last you long. So my point is, once again, it's cool if you got other things hidden with it, and if you're doing it solo. I got an uncle right now. He don't pretty much do nothing but funerals. And you know how many funerals going on. He been doing this for years. He charged $200 per funeral. Now just think about the coronavirus and how many people die. First thing they go, hey, call Jimmy Thompson, call Jimmy Thompson, call Jimmy Thompson. He'll do it. On the lowest, he'll charge $100. But think about it. He's only doing about 2 or 3 songs and he's out of there. He don't have to pack up no equipment because the church got an organ or a piano. He don't pack up nothing. He just go, sing, do the funeral, go back home, get his money. And nowadays, it's 2 or 3 funerals in 1 week. And especially by him being an older man, he's 70 plus, going on 80 really. So he's still making his money, drawing his Social Security, and having fun. So once again, it's going to boil down to the type of musician you are and the incomes that you have coming in. If you got a chance to come up, I always say, you look at $0 versus $100, which one would you do? Would you hit the 0 or would you still go get that 100? But if that 100 is going to put you in a bind, like old Bob was saying in the video, and you really discrediting yourself, I understand that. But I want to do the video like this to show you that it's different sides to that, why so many people will still take a $100 gig. Just be honest, most churches, the average church, the drummers, now you got high paying drummers, but I'm gonna say on a low, most pastors or deacons and trustees will offer the drummer $100. You see what I'm saying? Bass player $150, $100, $200, But it depends on that type of church and what that church finances are. Minister music probably putting down $450 or $500 or more. You see what I'm saying? So even in the church, if your tithe level is not the same every week and people leaving the church, tithes are dropping, then next thing you know, they come into the corner, hey, we're not going to be able to pay y'all what we was paying y'all because especially with the coronavirus done here, there are a lot of musicians out of work. A lot. So right now, to a lot of musicians, $100 look real good, because once again, there was so many musicians' only source of income was they gift with music. So you got to take all this in consideration. But I understand the dude, Terrence, he's on point with that video because the points that he made, it's just so on point. And I agree with that video. And I pray that most musicians will go watch that video and learn from it. But that's why you have to say it like this too. It's just different levels of musicians, because so many musicians. Let me make this point. So many people that's musicians are so financially set in life, they don't need no money. I got partners, man, they would never charge for a gig because they don't need the money. And I mean that. They are set for life. A lot of them are military. Not only are they military, they engineers. I got a partner named let me give a shout out to my big brother, Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter, he's the type of man who would never charge you to gig with him. Matter of fact, Jimmy is the one that will get the gig and give it to you. He called me all the time, hey, Jay, I want you to, he'll pack up his equipment and still won't charge, because as he would tell you, I don't need no money, bro. So you got to look at that too. So if you got musicians that don't need no money and they just do it for the love, then that's another reason why they'll keep doing $100, you know. But I'm gonna say this as I close. I know I done said a lot. The very well one you turn down could be the one that take you to the next level. If so many people got famous and got that money they was looking for because the gig that they wasn't gonna do was the one that turned the whole thing around for them, you know, because you never know who's watching you. You never know who's there, you know. So just keep that in consideration too. Kind of like a lot of people that started out doing comedy, they was in them little hole in the wall joints, but they kept going and kept going and kept going, and now they just blowed up, man, you know. So you may start out regularly, but it ain't about how you start out also. It's gonna be about how you finish. So that's my little 3 cents. Yeah, I wanted to add in with that. So hats off to all the musicians out here, and continue to learn your craft, man. Don't be afraid to put in that time and learn your instrument, and don't lower yourself. So with that being said, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed day. Shalom.